Alrighty, welcome to yet another 4-on-4 cube draft. Keep them coming. Got myself, Eomatic, and Mac the Knife, as well as a Jakub Flashjack. He's a member of my PT testing team. He's great. If you actually remember the video where I played a 64-player draft, he trounced me round one. That was him. This pack, unfortunately not great. So what do we have here? Comet Stellar Pup is a pretty strong card. It does a bunch of stuff. Just suffice to say it's good. We can get into it more later. Itali, another good reanimation slash, shallow grave, sneak attack, cast, show and tell. All that stuff is pretty good. There's Gaia's Cradle. I think I'm supposed to take Comet. Comet is just a pretty strong card. Not the best color combination to start with, but still pretty good. Comet, let's see. So you roll a 6-sided die. That's all it does. It only has one activation, but then it has a bunch of different results. On a 1 or a 2, you get +2 loyalty and 2 squirrels with haste. On a 3, you get -1 loyalty and you get a card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. This is probably the weakest mode. 4 or 5, Comet nugs something equal to his loyalty, then -2s, and then 6 is the nuts. You get +1 loyalty and you can activate it twice in that turn. You can go really crazy if you roll a 6. I'm still going to take Urza here. I've never passed Urza in my life and don't intend to start. The other thing is, what else would you take here? I guess you could take Council's Judgment because it's a white card and Comet's a white card, but I think that Comet is very good, but not enough to take Council's Judgment over Urza. I think it'd actually just be malfeasance to pass an Urza to Samrolf here. So I'm going to take Urza. Probably followed up nicely with a Ponder. I do like Mishra's Workshop, but Ponder I think is pretty broken. And I think it's just always going to be good, whereas Workshop, you can end up having it not be good. I don't think Workshop will wheel, not at this table. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think one of the Goblins will wheel if I care about having Goblin Welder or Goblin Engineer. I don't know that I want either of them, but they are on the table here. And so far, I'm happy that I first picked Comet. Obviously, I would rather first pick a good card, but, we are where we are. Probably take Expressive Iteration here. Because of Comet, I kind of already want to play red, and then of course I'm going to play blue, given that I have Ponder and Urza. I don't think taking the World Spine before the Flash is typically how I want to do it, and there's Recruiter of the Guard. Scrapwork Mutt and Sir Ginger are fine, but let's just take Expressive Iteration here. Right now, we're kind of set up nicely to just be like a Jeskai value deck or something along those lines. We'll have to see kind of how it turns out. And yeah, no other artifacts to go with Urza quite yet. Nam knows that he passed an Urza, and he probably is going to assume that I took it, so I'm not going into this assuming that I'm going to get the lion's share of artifacts. But I still think it was a fine card to take in that position. Urza is also just a good card. You can put Urza on a blue-red, mid-range deck, and it's just going to work totally fine. So certainly don't mind. And Ponder and Iteration helped me find my cards, which is pretty nice. Comet's a pretty powerful card if you just cast it, so I like where we're at. The main thing with Comet, I guess, is if you don't have a card in your graveyard, it can be kind of weak, but that's not something I'm super worried about. Ooh, new addition, Auriok Salvagers. You can pay 1 and a white, return an artifact with mana cost 1 or less from your graveyard to your hand. It goes infinite mana with Lotus or Lion's Eye Diamond, and then you either use that for something or you recycle another 1 mana artifact. I don't know if there's any spell bombs because Relic of Progenitus doesn't do it. Retrofitter Foundry would do the trick. You can do stuff with infinite mana there. What do I take though? I don't really want to take a card that relies on me having Lotus or Lion's Eye when I don't have either of those. Zernorb is okay, but I don't have any of the pieces that go with it. Trinket Mage will presumably be good in an Urza deck, but I don't have anything to go with that either. Spellqueller is just okay. I found that card to be fine, but not crazy good. Don't think I want Kite or a Grave Titan. Honestly, I might just spec on Zeranorb. I don't know. It's kind of a weak pack. There's also Oath of Druids, but I'm not really in an Oath of Druids spot. Ooh, I love Coveted Jewel. Lorien Revealed is also very good, but I kind of like with Urza just taking Coveted Jewel and maybe that Workshop wheels. I don't think the Workshop's going to wheel, but I really like Coveted Jewel. I'm going to take it. This pack has actually a lot of pretty solid cards here. And, whoa, that's a late Prismatic Vista, but also a late Teferi. I think Teferi is too good to pass here. Show and Tell is actually kind of cool with the Jewel, but Probably not doing that. I think I like Teferi more than Snapcaster, though. Ponder is a good Snapcaster target. But yeah, Teferi's good. And that is a late Prismatic Vista. Let's see. So this is pick 7. Yeah, I mean, just Jeskai is looking pretty good. I guess given the Teferi pick, Lorien Revealed over Crown Jewel or Coveted Jewel might have worked out better, but I don't know. I'm optimistic. And I don't have any of the Force of Will cards, Force of Will or Force Negation, so those do make the Coveted Jewel a lot better, or the Lorien Reveal a lot better. All right, this pack I'm probably going to take Displacer Kitten, because Kitten Teferi in a 0-drop is that you draw your whole deck, because you go Kitten, Teferi, bounce your Zernorb, draw a card, replay Zernorb, flicker Teferi, bounce Zernorb, draw a card. If you get a Mox, it's infinite mana as well. And Kitten Coveted Jewel, every time you play a spell, you untap this and get three mana. So very strong Kitten setup. And then that makes me want to take Talisman, though. Man, that is a late Gaia's Cradle. I just don't think, as much as it is good with Comet, I think this deck's supposed to take Talisman here. Passing Escape and Cradle and Otawara. Also Azurta, though I haven't seen yet any of the things that work with it, but I think Talisman is too important. Oh man, late Council's Judgment too, but I really like Walking Ballista in this direction. All right, any workshops? Oh, Workshop Wield. I didn't think that was going to happen, but now that we just took Walking Ballista and Coveted Jewel, that is a windmill slam of a workshop. Oh, baby. Okay. Well, we just kind of went deep into artifacts and got rewarded for it, it feels like, so let's keep going. Anduril does not appear to be a card I'm likely to play. Cosmic Rebirth is kind of nice with Teferi. You put it directly back into play. Yeah, I'll just take Anduril, though. I don't think I'm going to play Cosmic Rebirth. I guess I do have a white-green Talisman, but still. Okay. Yeah, I like this start. Getting a late workshop. Given that I got a late Ballista and Mishra's Workshop, taking the Coveted Jewel worked out pretty nicely. I guess I'll take Hydroid Krasis. No, Green Sun is just the most powerful card. I'm just hating a card here. I'll pass on Up the Beanstalk for a green-white land, I think. Mikaeus is also not playable. I have Zernorb, so it's possible that if I get like Fast Bond, Crucible, having a fetch land could be kind of nice. All right, well, nothing too crazy, but Mana Vault's good. Mana Vault does what this deck's looking for, which is accelerate out Coveted Jewel. It's good with Displacer Kitten, because it casts it and untapping Mana Vault a bunch is great. Nothing that I'm going to wheel, I would imagine, that's too exciting. Maybe Brainstorm comes back, but happy to first pick Mana Vault. Oh, there's Tolarian Academy. They passed me Tolarian Academy, those utter fools. Also, I have Urza and Academy now. Oh, this is a license to thrill. All right, we're slamming Tolarian Academy. Stop me if you've seen this episode before. Flash coming the opposite direction as Worldspine Worm, which is funny. Oh, interesting. So there is Crucible. And I have Zernorb, but the thing is the Fast Bond is the hardest part to get, and Crucible doesn't look like it does anything otherwise. I guess it plays Horizon Canopy. I think I might want to take Force of Negation here. I have 5 other blue cards already, and Force is just a fantastic card. There's also Cryptic Command. That one sometimes wheels. Crucible Waste. Generous Ent is funny because it does make an artifact. Yeah, I think I just take Force. Force I found to be a very strong card. Horizon Canopy, I'll put that in the actual sideboard category. But yeah, this looks great. I mean, getting past Urza and Tolarian Academy is exactly what I want to do. Now I just want to take as many cheap artifacts as I can find. That's basically it. There was just none in this pack. I don't really count Esper Sentinel because it's costs white mana, which I would like to mostly avoid. I mean, I have Teferi and Comet, but I'm not looking at leading with white on turn 1 necessarily. Looking in Crucible, if I had the Fast Bond, of course I would take it, but we're not there right now. And I've got a Talisman, a Mana Vault, a Zernorb, Ballista, and then a Coveted Jewel. So having 2 really good cards to cast with Workshop is great. It's not bad at casting Talisman. And we're at the beginning of Pack 2 still, so I imagine we're going to get plenty of ammo. It is funny that both Urza and Academy got passed to me, but yeah, we take those. All right, Pack 3, just get to open a Soul Ring, and then we're in good shape. And Yeah, I think Force of Negation, when I have a lot of blue cards, plus tapping out for Coveted Jewel and then tapping it to cast Force is pretty good. I think all that's solid. If Cryptic Wheels, I'll be happy, which I think there's a good chance it will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, every card in that pack is pretty playable. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Skull Clamp works nicely with Comet because it makes 1/1s. You can clamp Ballista. And it's a 1-mana artifact. Yeah, I'm in for Skull Clamp. There's a lot of things that go nicely with it. Passing up on Spell Pierce, a GTA though, I think would be a lot worse. All right, now there's a Winter Orb, which is also a nice combo with Urza. Don't think Wooded Foothills helps me too much right now. I mean, it might because it's a fetch land, but it's not even a Jeskai fetch. And I think Orb Urza is great. Also Orb Academy, Orb Workshop. It's the best with Urza because Urza just straight up turns off the orb, but it's pretty good with all the lands that tap for multiple mana because that just reduces the cost of having a Winter Orb in play. Would love to see one of the token makers like Retrofitter Foundry or Healy to go with this Skull Clamp, of course. Candelabra of Tawnos would also be a fantastic pickup, and especially if it's in pack 3, I might get one really late. It's possible that Samurolf passing to me knowing I probably took Academy. Am I that predictable? Yes, I am. Probably not going to let me get an 8th pick Candelabra unless, there's something else good in the pack for him. But he's like slightly more likely to hate it due to passing Academy. On the other hand, Nam doesn't know that I took Academy, so could maybe pass a late Candelabra. I mean, who knows? Okay. Yeah, I mean, basically all we're missing now is artifacts and Breach and Brain Freeze. Cute. It's safer to pass them because they're both in the pack. Okay. And regardless of which one I take, the other will not wheel. I think I might just take Revoker. You can Skull Clamp it, cast it off Workshop. It's a cheap artifact. There's also Memory Jar, but I kind of like Memory Jar a little bit less. There's also Ramanop, but again, the fast bond's the issue there. I think the Revoker sounds better to me. I don't know. That's pretty close. I think the Skull Clamp is a pretty good tiebreaker. Okay, Chromatic Star versus Mind Stone. They're both pretty good here. Chromatic Star is cheaper. Mind Stone does actually tap for mana. I think I'm leaning towards Chromatic Star because it also fixes my colors, which is pretty cool. And then there's Triskelion versus Mind Slaver. I'm going to take one of those. There's also Titania with Zernor, but I think just not playing green seems fine for this deck. So I like Mindslaver, but Triskelion does get Skull Clamped, which is nice. So I think I'm a little more likely to want Trike. And Phantasmal Image came back. So did Steam Vents. This looks like a really good Steam Vents deck and not as good of a Phantasmal Image deck. All right. Really late Birds that I'm probably just going to take because the rest of these cards are like kind of mediocre. And I don't really want to pass a late Birds. I don't know. There was a late Green Sun, so maybe I should. But these cards are all just kind of borderline playable. And Birds is really good. So there's not really much gain, even if I was wrong. Oh, interesting. Flame Tongue did wheel. So did Oracle. Okay. So Cryptic didn't wheel, unfortunately. What am I going to play here? Maybe a Timeless Dragon. I don't think I'm going to play Oracle or Flame Tongue. I guess Timeless Dragon I could end up running. Maybe Esper Sentinel, but I just don't want to have access to early white if I don't have to. But maybe, I don't know, that's pretty close. Esper Sentinel is good with Skull Clamp, I guess, in Academy. Both Hierarchs here. I guess I'll just take the Bolus's Citadel. Unless I think with Birds and... What if I just take Birds and Noble and now... just play, yeah, actually, why don't I just play those? All right, I'll take the Zealous Conscripts. I don't think I'm going to take Knight of the Reliquary. Zealous Conscripts is the strongest card there. I mean, having both Birds and Noble makes the Skull Clamp better. I have a green-white Talisman. Yeah, this seems fine. I could have played Knight to go get Academy, but I feel like that's maybe pushing it. I don't know. Looking at these... I've got a Timeless Dragon. Okay, I guess I'll take the Ramanop now. I'm really just not playing High Tide, and it's possible that now I have Ramanop Zernorb. I just have outs where if I get Fastbond, that's infinite mana. Not playing it onto Vanguard. I might play Timeless Dragon. I'll put that in my land cycling category. All right. This would be a good pack to open a Mox or a Soul Ring, just like every pack. But I would really like a Mox or Soul Ring at UC. we're already doing pretty great on really everything we need. I guess could go for another blue card or two for Force of Negation. I assume we'll pick up a few more of this pack. And obviously would like more artifacts. Because I'm really not 100% sure about these green cards. But as things currently stand, they might be worth playing. The Skull Clamp goes a long way there. All right, there's a Mox. And it's a green one. So that helps. Passing the One Ring, and that's fine. Portal of Phyrexia, got to keep an eye on it. That's coming back. I have Conscript, so Kiki's kind of interesting too. But obviously slamming Mox Emerald here. And yeah, I mean, that was just a great pack. I would imagine Sam's going to take the One Ring, and then people are going to take like Blade Splicer, Scrubland, Primetime, Teferi, Venser, maybe Golos, maybe Portal if someone has Tinker. Someone does have Show and Tell, and Portal Show and Tell is kind of nice. But we're just a couple cheap artifacts away from having some real good times here. Okay, so here we've got Hex Drinker's a good mana sink. Frantic Search is really great with Academy. And can be good with like Displacer Kitten. Saheeli also looks amazing in this deck. Just Saheeli works so well with Skull Clamp and Urza and Tolarian Academy. So on the one hand, Frantic Search is appealing. Good with Academy and good with Workshop to cast like Coveted Jewel. On the other hand, Saheeli I think would be better in my deck. But I think Saheeli is also more likely to wheel. But I think Saheeli is just too much better. All right, I'll just take the Saheeli and not get greedy. Okay, now I'm probably going to take Upheaval because that's a way to use all this mana. I like the fetches. I would be happy to take either fetch. They can get Steam Vent, so I guess I take Arid Mesa or Misty. I don't know. It depends on whether maybe I want to play the green. But I think I just take Upheaval, and if Ichor Wellspring or a fetch land wheels, then great. Ichor Wellspring's pretty likely too, I think. I just think Upheaval's so good in this kind of deck that it's just an I win button. So I've got to take one payoff. That basically solves what are you doing to win the game. All right, this is the pack where I want like a 7th pick Candelabra, maybe 8th pick, you know. That would be really reasonable to have happen, and it would be very good for me. So I want a thing that's good for me to happen, yep. That's it, it's not very complicated. TBD on this green. Basically, I think that if I end up getting some like cheap green fixing, then I'm likely to want to try it because the green also kind of fixes. There's 2 1-drops that tap for all my colors basically. I guess Noble doesn't tap for red. But if I don't get more green fixing besides just the Mox Emerald, I'll probably just not do it. All right, here we've got Basalt Monolith, Dak Faden, Mightstone and Weakstone, Talisman of Progress. A lot of cards I want. I'm kind of considering Dak because I think one of Basalt Monolith, Talisman, or Mightstone is pretty likely to wheel because 1, 2, 3 cards are going to get taken. 4 cards are going to get taken, and then just someone has to take Hullbreaker, Regrowth, Series. You know, they might not wheel. But also Dak would just be so obscene against me. And it's a blue card for Force. I don't know. I think I should take Dak. Oh, it's a late Tinker and a Time Twister. Unfortunately, we're not that good at tinkering, but you know what? I think that Portal might wheel. Tinker for Coveted Jewel or Triskelion is not the absolute worst. I think Time Twister is good too, but I think Tinker is going to be better for this deck. So let's just take Tinker. And there might be other cards we pick up on the way. I also think Ichor Wellspring is going to wheel, which is a nice little combo with Tinker. It is funny, this might have been a deck to play Goblin Welder, but then Mishra's Workshop wheeled, so I took it over both Welders. All right. Okay, Nam, can you just pass me a couple more artifacts? If my next couple picks are artifacts, I'll be pretty happy. I don't really want anything else. In fact, I'm going to get rid of these cards. Maybe I'll play the Timeless Dragon if I get a red-white or red-blue fetch. But as is, we're at 18 land plus a Mox right now. It's not even like we need to pick up a whole lot more stuff. What would I be cutting for artifacts? I don't know. I mean, it is also not 0% that I could consider cutting Comet and Teferi, but that's not very likely either. Okay, I'm excited. The next couple picks could be pretty big. All I really could use is just like, I don't know. Is it too much to ask for just like a Pentad Prism or something? Oh, a Talisman of Impulse. Yeah, that's probably fine. There's also Triplicate Titan to tinker for, and this deck could very well cast it. There's also Third Path Iconoclast, but I already took Saheeli, so I feel like you don't want too many slots there. I think I do just take the Triplicate Titan, actually. just to make it to hedge on Tinker. And then now Tundra's great because Tundra makes it so I get to play my white card. So that was pick 7. So pick 8 Candelabra. All right. Yeah, the pick 8 Candelabra is really reasonable. Like, I think that it's actually going to be a travesty if we don't get it here. No Candelabra? There's a late channel. Wow. All right, I'm going to take Chrome Host Seed Shark. That's going to be good in this deck as well. Yeah, take that over Asika's Chariot. All right. Timeless Dragon might not make the cut still, honestly. Right now we're at 16 lands, so anything I add, I have to cut a card. I do have 2 things that make a lot of artifacts, so that is pretty nice. Zuran Orb is also a little dubious here. It's just a 0 mana artifact, which I think is fine, but it's not the most powerful. Let's see. All right, is Phyrexian Portal going to wheel? It did. It did. Well, Portal to Phyrexia, we are in. All right, we got rewarded. I think the Zuran Orb has to go. And then now, what's the most likely card? I guess I just hate the Pestermite here. Sure, I don't really know what Sam is up to. Tendrils could be a card he really wants, but he did pass Breach and Brain Freeze, so that seems a little less likely to me. All right, the deck's basically done here. And how many artifacts did I end up with? 1, 2, counting Chrome Host and Saheeli is 4. Not counting Triplicate Titan Strike for the moment here. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, and the Ichor Wellspring wheel. I really did actually want this to wheel. I love Fire Ice, trust me, but Ichor Wellspring, when I can sack it to Tinker and it generates tokens, taps for mana off Urza, effectively taps for mana off Academy, that's just too much to pass up on. It does mean I need to cut a card, which I almost wonder if I should just be cutting Dak Vaden. Mightstone and Weakstone wheeled too? Great. All right, what was the one card that got taken to make this wheel? There was one kind of dubious card, but the other cards that are there still make sense. Oh man, Crop Rotation and Waterlogged Grove. Crop Rotation is interesting. Will I play Waterlogged Grove? I don't think I'm going to play Crop Rotation here. So I guess I'll just take the Waterlogged Grove. I don't know. Oh, a Red-Green Talisman? Okay. All right, well, now I'm definitely going to cut Dak Vaden. Here, let's put this on Magic Online and take a look, but I think it's very likely that I cut Dak Vaden, and we'll see how this goes. All right, let's get to deck building. Alrighty, time for round 1. Ended up cutting the red. So Iteration, Comet, and Dak were like the last cuts, but the way I figured it, this deck had enough cards that why don't I just basically be mono blue? I'll play Teferi off a couple planes and a Timeless Dragon and Chromatic Star because it's basically free. Plus Teferi and Kitten have that infinite combo. But I felt like stretching the mana for Dak and Expressive Iteration really just wasn't necessary. This deck has enough going on. Round 1 against Namor Squad, so I'm going to keep this hand. Don't love Triplicate Titan in the opener, but you know what? If we draw Workshop or Academy, we could well cast it. Uh-oh. All right. I think I'm just going to go turn 1 Talisman and then turn 2 Ponder and try to set something up here. Find a Tinker. All right, just don't hit like stupid Mana Vault or something. Let's see what you got. Tundra. Great. Works for me. Turn 2 Palantir. Okay. I will not have you draw a card at this point. Hopefully I don't get Emrakul here. No. I took 3 off Kolagon's command. Glad to do that. Coveted Jewel, huh? All right, let's ponder. Okay. I do like what I see here. I think I'm going to play the Seed Shark and hope. Yeah, I actually have to do it that way. And then hope Nam doesn't have a way to remove the Seed Shark. Probably can't cast the Teferi even if he does, but I would really like to draw the Teferi. Otherwise, things look pretty bad here. Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay, now, let me see. 2 on the bottom. No, don't draw a card. All right. Draw. This has worked out better than I could have even imagined. Because now I go Teferi, make an idiot, bounce Palantir. You have no plays in response. Awesome. And I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't really need to attack with Seed Shark here. This game went from looking pretty bad to looking amazing momentarily here. Because now 2 blockers for Ragavan. I can animate the Incubator. The next turn I'm going to cast Coveted Jewel, making a 6-drop. And your play is Palantir. No land. I'm kind of feeling like maybe I let Nam draw 1 top, 1 bottom. Yeah, you can draw. I just feel like I'm winning by so much now that it doesn't really bother me. Okay, plus on Teferi. Just play another island. Play the Coveted Jewel, make a Shark token, draw 3 cards. And really don't want Ragavan to get through, but I don't think you're very likely to get through 2 blockers here. So let's pass. I guess if Ragavan gets through, I feel like something really weird is going on, especially since I don't have to animate this before blocks and K Command's gone. Like Fire Covenant would be one of the ways that Ragavan could get through, but given that this isn't a creature at the time Fire Covenant goes in the stack, because if Ragavan attacks, I just block. Oh, and there's a Teferi in play, so you can't even instant speed it. Yeah, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape here. Magda's the play? Oh, baby. Oh, into Grief? Sure. You can grief me because my hand is 2 gigantic things and I can cast 1 of them. Like what are you gonna take here? 4, 5, 6, 9 mana. So you take the Trike, sure. I mean, Trike is pretty good at keeping Coveted Jewel around, but kind of feel like we're gonna animate here. I'm once again gonna let Nam draw here. I just, there's no reason to get Emrakuled or whatever when I know he can't even cast a spell thanks to Teferi. Mana Vault is interesting. What does that do for me? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I cast Mana Vault first, I get to animate the token. Is that right? 3, 6, 9. Wait, hold on. 3, 6, 9. Yeah. I guess I can just not tap the token for mana, or not tap the Mana Vault for mana. I can just do it like this. And then cast Mana Vault. And if I have to animate the Mana Vault token, I can. Let's attack with this. Puts you to 10. I have 2 blockers left. Let's still attack like this, I think. Yeah, all right. You're chumping past the turn. It's going to be pretty hard to imagine losing this game. And I didn't even draw either of my busted lands. I mean, there are things Nam could do. The Cube, again, always has some good busted plays. Flame Tongue Kafu. That's not it. Yeah, the Seed Shark's reign of terror has ended. All right, so you're at 4. So I bounce and you go to 0. All right. You can draw a card once more. Okay, draw. I guess if I if I minus Teferi, that does mean Nam gets to play an instant, but they would have to be, I don't even really know what it could be, like a Snuff Out or something. All right, let's bounce Magda. Animate this. And then if this doesn't work out, then I can Upheaval. Upheaval would also win me the game. So, yeah, you're going to block the 6/6 and take 13 here. I guess you could snuff out the Triplicate Titan and not quite die, but that would be pretty difficult. All right. All right. Whew. Up a game. Against red-black, kill your stuff. That's fair. Okay. Rakdos mid does make me want Iteration and DAC more, so I did have the ability to board in the red, because if I board in Steam Vents and 2 mountains, basically I would take out 2 planes, because I was running a little heavy on white. Put in these and take out an island. And then Iteration and DAC come in. Winter Orb, I think, goes out, because I don't really love Winter Orb against a low curve deck, which is what that looks like. And I like Trike. I like all those things. I don't really want to take Timeless Dragon out because that's kind of a land. I think I might take out Revoker. I just didn't see anything to revoke really. And it just dies to things like K-Command. And Dak to steal Palantir is pretty nice. Iteration, just because if I'm getting, 1-for-1 traded, I think that's pretty good. And this leaves me still 4 white sources for Teferi here, which I think is enough. And the fact that this Timeless Dragon can get a blue mana means I think it's better than playing Mana Plains, even though it costs 2. I don't know how often I'll bring it back. I actually don't mind this hand on the draw. Hopefully I don't get Ragavan. Nam is mulliganing here. The fact that I have Force of Negation and Tinker goes a long way, because now I need to ponder into a land plus a cheap artifact. Obviously, if I hit like land Mana Vault or land Mox, though honestly just hitting Mana Vault would actually be enough. And then I can just Tinker early for Triplicate Titan against Black-Red is pretty good. Or Portal if the things are going crazy. No Ragavan? Yeah. Oh, and we just drew Mana Vault. Okay, I'll just do that then. I hope Nam doesn't come back and watch this video. He will be mad. All right. The question here is, if I draw, do I ponder first? No, I don't think that's necessary. Let's just go Tinker, sacking Mana Vault, and get Triplicate Titan. And then pass the turn here. And then I can just ponder next turn. It's not as good, obviously, but I just have the Tinker lined up. I don't really need to risk it for the biscuit. Palantir is fine. That, it doesn't really bother me. Let's see. No, don't draw. I took 4 off Fiery Confluence. Sure, now I will cast Ponder. Yeah, this seems fine to me. Is that good? Yeah, I mean, I'm drawing a land. It's kind of hard to imagine that not being good enough. Unfortunately, I can't have all the land and Ballista at the same time, but I think that's okay, because now I go land, Skull Clamp, attack for 9. Still have up this Force of Negation, probably pitching Displacer Kitten here. Reach, Haste, okay. Given what I've seen out of Nam's deck, I will still not have you draw. I took another 4, all right. Play a land, attack. I'm just not going to bother equipping Skull Clamp here. Doesn't really do much, I don't think. Okay, block and take 7. And then pass, and then I have the Zealous Conscript, so that's not an issue. Almost anything that gets you out of this is a spell. Custodial Lich, through the breach? No. No thanks. I'm going to pass on that. And that'll do it. 1-0 without Academying, though. Turn 2 Tinker is a nice one against Red-Black. All right, let's keep going. Alrighty, time for round 2. Playing against Juju Bean, who is unsurprisingly playing a blue control deck. Kind of blue-white Monastery Mentor Planeswalker control. This is a fine hand. Would love to see a Chromatic Star, Mana Vault, Mox Emerald. Any cheap artifact would be pretty nice. Island is basically the worst card I could draw, so let's not draw more of those. We're going to go turn 2 Talisman into turn 3 Ballista, playing all basics. And then maybe play Academy from there. Kind of expecting to get Mana Leaked here. Oh, come on. Come on. Is that really necessary? I'm about to get Lorand here. Okay. I'm even playing 15 lands in this deck. Let's see what JJ's got for me here. Mishra's Workshop would also be a pretty nice draw. Slam a Mightstone. All right. All right. Let's play a Ballista. Pass the turn, I guess. Jujubin really not doing anything? No. Swords, all right. Nug you. I'll nug you. I'll cast my expensive Divination next turn here, or at least try to. All right. Sahelia, I'll wait for a turn on that. Kind of assume this isn't resolving, but we'll see. Oh, okay. Sure. All right, let's just pass the turn here because I want to play Saheeli the same turn I play a bunch of artifacts. Cycle Rafine's Tower, yeah. Oh, I know what Juju has in hand, Spell Queller. Okay. So, what do I lead with next turn? Probably Saheeli. I think I'm going to lead on... it's interesting. Yeah, I'm going to lead on Saheeli, and we'll see what... Oh, Hero Bladehold. Oh, this is going to be a bloodbath. All right, let's go Saheeli first. Okay, into Mox. Oh, this is going to be such a massacre. Let's go Winter Orb. Because I think Teferi is the last one I want to resolve. Academy, Teferi. And let's go ahead and bounce Hero of Bladehold. And now there's a Winter Orb in play. And even though I drew another artifact there, it kind of doesn't matter because I just passed the turn and you get to untap one land. And can't recast Hero. I mean, I have 3 lands in hand, but if I draw any spell here, then we are really off to the races. My Academy taps for 8 mana, 7 mana right now. So I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana at my disposal. Jujubin has 2. Next turn we'll have 3. Oh, Black Lotus. Okay, that is a way out. Black Lotus into maybe cast Hero of Bladehold off Lotus. All right. That is an out. All right, let's draw spell. Revoker's okay. It's not great. Let's go Revoker, name, I think Jace the Mind Sculptor. And don't really see a reason to make anything with servos. What I'm probably going to do here is triple block Hero and kill it with Revoker plus 2 tokens. And then I guess Teferi dies. Because I'm kind of assuming Juju's going to make 2 2/1s that are both attacking Teferi here. Okay. Yeah, as does the Hero here. So given that the 2/1s are both attacking Teferi and Teferi's going to die anyway, I'm probably not even going to block Teferi with this servo token. Okay. Because at that point, it doesn't really... There's no real benefit to doing that. All right. Battlecry resolves. Yeah, we're all attacking Teferi. And 1 removal spell already saves the Hero, so I think I just block like this. I hope you don't have a removal spell. Okay, that's a start. Teferi dies. It's unfortunate. Would have really been nice to draw something that triggered Saheeli last turn, though I guess Provoker did let me block. Untap a land. All right. I really just need to not draw a lands here. This is kind of absurd. I guess I'll just pass. It's just kind of annoying because with the Winter Orb out, I'm in a pretty good position against blue-white control still, but I've really not drawn very many spells. I guess I drew Teferi and Saheeli off of the Mightstone, and that was good. I've drawn a Winter Orb, but then the rest has just been lands, basically, because I drew a Revoker. It's just, this game looks like, generally when you have a like 11 to 2 mana advantage, you can, you can generally win. But when you don't have any spells to play, it's like I could have infinite mana. I effectively do. I can cast everything in my deck. The most expensive card in my deck, so I have 2 of them that actually cost 9, and it'd be trivial to play here. And I guess I'm going to block one of these tokens on Saheeli. He goes to 4. I'm still worried about Spell Queller for what it's worth, but I don't know that I'll be able to do anything about that. Mentor, sure. All right. Spell, please. All right, here's another piece of mana, which I mean, I will say that Academy decks tend to have a lot of mana. Like I'm only playing 15 lands, but I have like 2 talismans, a mox, a mana vault. That's all well and good. I still drawn a lot of islands and plains this game, which it's not working out great for me. Okay, so now Saheeli's going to get attacked again. And, oh, the mentor's attacking me? No. Yeah. All right, they're both attacking Saheeli. I'm just going to block the soldier token. Saheeli goes to 2 here and dies next time. Okay. Untap, draw. Yeah, that's probably fine. Talisman. Make a blocker, pass the turn. So I kind of hope to draw a expensive spell because I am worried about that Spell Queller. We know about Spell Queller and Mana Leak. Cryptic Command as well, but I can't stop Cryptic here. Portal of Phyrexia would be pretty good. Wouldn't mind that one. Okay, block. Urza would get Spell Quellered, unfortunately, but we might also get Cryptic Commanded. All right. Pass the turn. We're going to get Cryptic, or are we just going end of turn absent the Winter Orb? Unfortunately, that also means I'm going to draw it here. You get to untap all your lands. What is this? Teferi? Oh, Time Warp. Yeah, Time Warp Mentor's pretty good. I mean, I don't look dead. Oh, I'm getting... Saheeli's not getting attacked? That's not a great sign for me. Let's see. Do you have another spell? No, no more spells. So to deal lethal this game, you'd have to play like 4 spells. That is doable. I think, was the Unexpectedly Absent cast for 0? Yeah, so that means I'm drawing Winter Orb. All right. Well, that was not a game I thought I was going to lose. Playing against mono or blue-white control, I do think Winter Orb is still good. Revoker's okay. It's not the best in the world. Dak Vaden doesn't look that great. I mean, I would like expressive iteration. Like I can just put in, like Comet and Iteration are just like to have more gas in the deck. Maybe I cut Revoker and I like Force. I like almost all the other stuff. Yeah, all these cards on this end would have been really nice draws. I guess I already drew the Ballista and the Mightstone. Everything else would have been a pretty nice draw. Let's go Steam Vents and 2 mountains. Take out Plains, Island, Island. Put in Comet and Iteration. Take out Revoker and take out... Don't think I want to take out Timeless Dragon. I might take out Triskelion just because it's on the expensive side. It does kill Mentor, I guess, and Planeswalkers, which that part is kind of nice. Oh, I might take out Triplicate Titan. This card actually seems really bad against Jace Bounce, Swords to Plowshares, yeah, all that stuff. All right, let's do this. Okay. Let's play first. This hand I'm actually going to keep. I know this hand is a little slow, but we're playing against blue-white. Teferi's one of my best cards in the matchup, and I have Academy in my opening hand plus Upheaval. Now if I draw a bunch of artifacts, this hand can get pretty threatening. Of course, now is when I'm going to draw all the 9 drops, but yeah, I cited a 9 drop out. All right, Talisman wouldn't be bad. Oh, Timeless Dragon. All right. Yeah, I can cycle that, go get a Tundra, and then Eternalize it on 4. That seems fine. All right. Let's plain cycle this. Tundra, draw, more lands, cool. I'm gonna wait a turn on the Teferi, am I? No, I'm just going to cast it. Just mana leak me, go for it. It just wasn't really getting better, and I'm going to eternalize the dragon next turn, so feels like I do that. Okay, pass, draw. All right, Chromatic Star is not terrible. Eternalize Dragon here. Pass the turn. And if you got no play this turn, I wouldn't mind. Also, I'd rather Teferi get mana leaked than hit by a Spell Queller. Oh, Virtue of Loyalty. That is acceptable. The other thing about having Upheaval in hand is Upheaval is the kind of card that can really beat Blue-White in the late game. Obviously, it gets hit by Cryptic Command, but mana leak's gone. Didn't see Counterspell. Didn't see anything else really. Touch the Spirit Realm to kill my dragon. Sure. Okay. Here's where drawing artifacts or spells are good. Okay. That's a little expensive, but, you know, not terrible. Let's play Chromatic Star, and let's just chill with the star for a moment. Don't really need to crack it here. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to play next turn. It'll kind of depend if Jujubin taps out or not. If you tap out to play Virtue, you know, that gives me an opportunity to maybe do something. Playing Coveted Jewel is a little dicey against a Knight token, so I'm probably not going to do that. Could use a mana source or a Lotus, okay. Lotus into Virtue, leaving triple blue up. Okay. Force of Negation is interesting. Actually, you know what? Maybe I do play Coveted Jewel. Or maybe I just wait a turn here. What am I trying to draw into? The problem with playing Jewel is the Knight token just steals it and draws him 3. I think I just wait. Maybe I get to force something, and then maybe I get to get some kind of upheaval game going. Or I could draw Mishra's Workshop. That would also be a draw. I'm not under too ridiculous of a clock here. Now Mana Vaults and Talismans would be an okay draw. Raven Inspector, sure. That does increase the clock pretty dramatically, thanks to Virtue. But because of the Force of Negation, I can also maybe force an upheaval through a Cryptic Command. Really, I just need to draw Mana Vault or something. Just basic island. So next turn, I'm taking 6, so it's lethal the turn after. Okay, let's sack this for a blue, I guess. Talisman. Land. Pass the turn. If I can peel Mana Vault, that would really be something, because this is 4, 6, 7. Yeah, this match has really been kind of an unpleasant one to play. That's fine. I kind of just have to hope he doesn't have Cryptic in hand. There's not that many other cards I care about here. It would have been nice for him to use the Lotus first, but that's not really going to happen. I guess I just upheaval. Hold on. I could play Coveted Jewel first. I think maybe. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. Play Skull Clamp. Play Academy. I'm giving up the land drop for upheaval. Trying to play a Coveted Jewel here. Because this way I get to keep up Force of Negation. If I just tap out for upheaval and get countered, I just lose. Now I'm probably still going to lose, but I could actually draw something. Yeah, against Mana Drain. I didn't know about that one. All right. Force you. Need to draw something here. I've already played my land for the turn, and I've tapped my Academy. And I guess I'm dead. Ichor Wellspring. Into dead. All right, well, I think we have a pretty good shot at going 2-1. The draws my dispatch were just horrendous. And I will say, Mana Leak, Mana Drain, Lotus, these are all great cards against me. So I'm not saying that I would have crushed Jujubee had I drawn better, but the way I drew, I just couldn't beat a single card. It's not like Juju had to do anything either game. So that was unfortunate. All right, on to round 3. Alrighty, on the draw against Blue-Black Reanimator, I'm just going to mulligan this hand. This hand just looked way too slow. This definitely seems better. I'll put a portal back so I can tinker it out. Yeah, this is all right. Get to ponder, and yeah, we'll see from there. Revoke. Don't even really know what I'm revoking quite yet. I could revoke Fallen Shinobi. That actually does work. Ninjutsu's an activated ability. Okay. Cannot revoke Creeping Tar Pit. Ooh, there's an academy. Okay. Ponder. Force of Negation, Teferi, Mightstone, Weakstone. Interesting. I actually think this is fine. It's a little dicey in the sense that if this Revoker dies, I can't cast my Teferi on 3. But getting Force of Negation against Reanimator is really valuable. And going turn 2 Revoker into turn 3 Teferi seems pretty good. I'm going to let Demonic Tutor happen because I want Mati to tap out for whatever the Demonic Tutor play ends up being. I think I revoke Una's Prowler, given what we've seen. Una's Prowler. Because that stops, it's funny, it stops the drawback, but it stops you from being able to animate with Una's Prowler. True Name Nemesis, okay. Can't stop that. That one is fine, but honestly, I've got, I think I'm going to play Saheeli now over Teferi. I feel like this deck can go over the top of True Name. It's a 7-turn clock. I guess it's faster with Creeping Tar Pit, though Trike can maybe stop Tar Pit. And I've got some Planeswalkers you might want to be attacking. I actually wouldn't hate if Mati played a spell that I could Force of Negation this turn. I guess you could just animate the Tar Pit, I guess. Oh, Sir Ginger. Haha, that's funny. That actually has haste, hexproof, and trample, so it can just kill Saheeli. That's unfortunate. Alright. Yeah, I can't stop that. Saheeli down. I could block, but I don't think that really accomplishes a whole lot for me. I guess you could animate with Tar Pit anyway. Oh, Skull Clamp. That's not terrible. All right, let's go Skull Clamp. I hope you don't kill Revoker in response. That would be awkward for me, but what are you going to do? Or you're just going to count. Petty Theft. Sure. And then play Revoker. And I guess I can't activate Luna's Prowler. I'm going to name Fallen Shinobi because I think that's more likely to happen. All right, so I missed a land drop here, but my Academy now does tap for 2 mana. I'm under some pressure. I think Upheaval's going to go a long way this game if I can. I have to find it and generate enough mana, but we got a plan here. We got a plan. Man, this Force of Negation not doing anything was really not part of it, but it's not often a blue-black deck's just going to play like 4 creatures in a row. I guess today is not my day. All right, well, that's done, and I'm probably dead now. I mean, it's going to be hard. I guess if I draw a Workshop or something. Okay, let's lead on Teferi here. Bounce the Lich because it's the most expensive. Play a land. Pass the turn. And next up, I don't know what I can even do here. I guess I'm taking 3 and Teferi's going down. Yeah, that's what it looks like. All right. I go down to 11. Oh, there was a Fallen Shinobi. Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think I still need some ridiculous outs here. Island and Mox Emerald. Yeah, Mox would have been nice. It's a little late for that now. Okay, and draw. I mean, I can kill Fallen Shinobi, then take lethal, so. All right. This actually doesn't make me want DAC or Iteration or Comet. I think we're just good the way we are. Let's just go for, I don't know, something a little bit more proactive. Force I still think is fine in this matchup. It just did turn out that True Name into Sir Ginger into Custodialich happened to be the lines of play. But I've seen enough of Mati's deck from previous teammate matches that I really don't think that that's always going to be the case. I like Trike well enough. This all seems fine. All right. I'm on the play here. All right. I'll keep this hand. I guess technically if I draw a white, I could just play a turn 2 Timeless Dragon. Though maybe it's better just to lead with Island in case I draw Urza and play a turn 2 Urza. I don't know. I don't really want to tap out for Teferi here using my Mana Vault, so I probably won't do that. I'm just going to play a land and pass, and then probably cycle the Timeless Dragon. Into Tundra. All right, Sir Ginger, huh? Not really like loving this. Oh, it doesn't. It has hexproof, right? Let's bounce this. Draw. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I guess I should have tapped my mana differently for sure. All right, I'll play the Mana Vault anyway. Yeah, that was... I didn't really put together that this was going to have hexproof itself, so I guess I would have wanted to float mana, play Teferi. Then I could have played Kitten this turn, but I'd have nothing to bounce with Kitten, so I guess that wouldn't have even been that great. All right. Teferi's going down, that's fine. Doing nothing else, that's fine. At some point, I need to draw something that does something. This deck's really struggled. I don't know why. This is a very good deck. Like I would be happy with this deck generally, but so far it hasn't really had very many games where you could say it did anything. Okay. Kaito the Dancing Shadow. So you can make it so this can't block. You can hit with Sir Ginger and then bounce Sir Ginger to Kaito and then make a 2/2. No? All right, you just do nothing. That's fine. There we go. Triskelion is definitely a thing. All right, let's play a land. Trike. Nug that. Pass the turn. Okay, so now if we draw a spell to trigger Displacer Kitten, that gives us extra Trike damage every time, which is pretty nice. Custodialich, okay. That actually isn't going to work as well as you might think. The way Custodialich works is if it's not in play when you become the Monarch, you don't get the sack trigger. So now I'll be the captain. So you can make it so Timeless Dragon can't attack or block, but then I'm just going to take the monarchy from you. Okay. And if I draw any spell I can cast, which I have a lot of mana to, this kitten gets another go round too. That is pretty nice. All right. That was a pretty big misstep, which I can't blame Mati for. It's a really weird interaction, but I'm going to take the monarchy. Thank you very much. And then I'm going to play a workshop, and I'm going to wait on the Displacer Kitten. I kind of want to get at least one trigger right away. Now there's a Siege Shark. Interesting. Okay. Drawing a cheap artifact wouldn't be bad. Skull Clamp would be amazing. Chromatic Star would be the dream. I mean, you can hit with Creeping Tar Pit if you wanted to take that back the Monarchy, I guess. Or you can reanimate. I guess reanimating Custodial Lich is a reason to maybe play Displacer Kitten. That's interesting, yeah. That certainly could be the case. All right, Demonic Tutor. I'm just going to hope that I draw a spell here. If this Demonic Tutor leads to reanimate, I guess the Displacer Kitten attacking actually wouldn't do that much against a Lich. If they reanimate Lich, I'm just going to sack Timeless Dragon and hope that I can draw a spell. Oh, I guess we're not getting Liched. We're getting... Oh, Dothy Voidwalkered? Into Smuggler's Copter. Okay. All right. Any spell here is just so good. Oh, Skull Clamp. Okay. That is the nuts. Let's see how we can use this. Let's see. I guess I don't have enough mana to play... Displacer Kitten. I kind of want to play Seed Shark and Displacer Kitten. Can I manage that? I guess I can play Academy, play Seed Shark, play Kitten. I'll have no mana left over. In that case, maybe I just play Displacer Kitten first. And go from there. You got to remember a Skull Clamp won't trigger. So basically, is it better to play... I can play the Shark, but then I won't be able to equip the Clamp. I kind of like doing this first. Displacer Kitten, the Trike. Shoot Voidwalker. Shoot Voidwalker. How much do I care that if I think equipping Trike is still fine here. I lose out on the ability to blink Trike, but drawing 2 cards to keep the chain going. Ooh, and I can play the Mightstone and Weakstone now. All right, that's huge. Displacer Kitten, the Mana Vault to untap it. Okay. Now I'm going to draw 2 cards, and now any cheap artifact lets me, Flicker. So now I go tap Mightstone and Weakstone. Actually, let's play Chromatic Star. Mightstone and Flicker, Mightstone and Weakstone. Okay, we're getting into it here. Draw 2 cards. Coveted Jewel. Ooh, and I can cast it? All right, Coveted Jewel. Here we go. Displacer Kitten. Now it's just going to be the Mana Vault because I just want more mana. I think I can draw basically my whole deck now. Because the Jewel comes in, I draw 3. Tap this for 3 blue. And 3 colorless, I guess. I use blue, colorless, Healy, Displacer Kitten, Coveted Jewel. Draw 3. And then now, tap this for 3 blue, Talisman. I'm not going to deck myself here, but I am going to make a bunch of tokens. Draw 3. All right, there's Urza. All right, we finally got to go off. This is what I wanted to do. Talisman, Displacer Kitten, Mana Vault at this point. And then yeah, all right, they figured it out. That was some good going off there. All right. Game 3. No changes. Maybe I should have played a Horizon Canopy instead of a Plains, honestly. Against Jujubina, I almost assuredly should have done that. I don't know about Waterlogged Grove instead of Island. Do I want both? Maybe I do. Yeah, that was probably a mistake not to play those against life totals. Now I'm going to draw them against True Name Nemesis and die, but that's okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mulligan. Don't love mulling a hand that has Mana Vault, Tinker, Force Negation, but if you can't cast spells, you can't cast spells. Sure, I'll keep this and put a Plains back. I don't like this hand, but I don't think I'm supposed to go to 5. Okay, I do like Mishra's Workshop. Oh man, this is just not a keepable hand. Okay, Mightstone and Weakstone's not bad. That's a really unfortunate combo. Let's play this, oops, and play Ichor Wellspring. Draw, all right. Pass the turn. So you get to Conceal and Curtains me and take my Mightstone and Weakstone, I guess. And I hope to draw Mox. Because otherwise next turn I would just get to cast Mightstone and Weakstone to kill the Voidwalker. So I'm clearly not going to get a chance to do that. Mox would be good. Mana Vault would be good. We'll see what else we can get here. Talisman is not great. All right, so we're casting the Mightstone and Weakstone. Sure. Wait, we're casting Coveted Jewel? Oh, we're casting Coveted Jewel. Right, of course, that makes sense. Why was I thinking Mightstone and Weakstone? Because I thought they might want to take the card I could cast next turn, but this makes total sense too. Yeah, that's pretty sick. All right. I mean, that's a good curve. Let's see. If I can draw an Urza or some other big mana thing, that would be nice. All right, let's play this. Play Academy. Mightstone and Weakstone. I'm just going to draw 2 cards. All right. Tinker is really nice. Let's pass the turn. If I can Tinker for Portal, that would be incredible. What I'd need is Mati to have, with a lot of mana, not too insane of plays. Ballista can also clean up some creatures first before Tinker happens. So, and I have a lot of mana now. Right now I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11 mana. Okay, Thirst is actually not bad. If that's the way we were starting, it doesn't affect the board. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we might get Fallen Shinobi or something, but I kind of feel like this could be decent. Plus, if I Tinker for Portal and get a Ballista into play, I threaten to attack and steal the Coveted Jewel back, so that's pretty nice. Let's see. I mean, let's see what happens. A lot could happen this turn, but the 2 cards I drew off Mightstone and Weakstone were very good, so I've got some decent outs. Teferi would be a fantastic draw here, too. Also, Teferi would bounce back my Jewel. Yeah, if I could put a card on top, it'd probably be Teferi, because that also stops counterspells. And then I could go Teferi, discarded Ledger Shredder, and Uno's Prowler. Interesting. All right, is this a Hymn to Turok? Hopefully it's not a Collective Brutality. That would be a shame. It feels like it is, though. We'll see. GTA Equip would be amazing. That sort of thing. Yeah, Teferi. Could cast Ballista for a bunch. Okay. Oh, it is a GTA. You're not equipping GTA. You can't possibly. Oh, what? All right. I'm not saying that's a bad play, but it is by far the play I would like to see. All right. Let's draw. Oh, and we drew Force of Negation. That is amazing, too. How are we going to do this now? I'm going to play Tundra, I think. Let's see if I Tinker. I guess I tap Academy for 3 first. Tinker, sacking Wellspring. Yes, I could draw Portal here, and that would be a little annoying. But, no, cool, another island. But getting an extra card seems pretty nice. And now... Wait, why are we getting life now? You don't need to do that. I might have to let Mati know how GTA works after this match. So... I think actually the GTA mistake was pretty big, because now I'm going to play Ballista for 2 and still have Force of Negation up, and it can't get killed by GTA. I would have actually been forced to play Ballista for 3, but I really want to get Ballista into play so I can attack and steal the Coveted Jewel. I mean, next turn I'm going to get to put a True Name into play, because I don't have black, so I can't flip the curtains, but getting a True Name into play would be pretty nice. Or a Voidwalker. Actually, might... No, True Name's probably a little more appealing. The game's far from over, but this is aiming to be a nice comeback. And also, once I have this much mana in play, it usually goes pretty well for me. Okay, Force of Negation this. Yeah, I would have been forced to play Ballista for 3, I think. That could matter a lot. Let's find out. Demonic Tutor. Okay, I'm once again going to allow you to Demonic Tutor, because if it's Custodial Lich, I just don't, that's not that big of a deal. I get to shoot the Custodial Lich in response, so it dies, and then on my turn I put Custodial Lich into play and take the Monarch. So I don't care about that very much. The Coveted Jewel can wait. It's not drawing you cards every turn. And if it's a spell to like reanimate True Name Nemesis, I'd much rather get to Force of Negation and force Mati to spend more mana on the spell first. Oh, I guess you can get True Name. You can GT Ballista down to a 1/1 and then get True Name, and then I can't quite kill it. Or sorry, not True Name, Custodial Lich. But then I can just put True Name into play. The Custodial Lich can't attack me, and then I attack and take the Monarchy and the Coveted Jewel. So that one also seems fine. Let's see how this goes here. You get to peel any card out of your deck. 23 cards left. One of them is the winner. We'll find out what it is very shortly, I would assume. Usually it's the card cast directly after Demonic Tutor. Not always, but certainly very frequently. Don't think you do want to tutor for Island, though. That I don't believe. Okay. Shieldred. Interesting. Okay. I'm at 11. Not too bad. Into Stowaway. Okay. Let's go ahead and portal back True Name Nemesis. Choose you, draw, lose 2 life. So now, how much mana can I generate? Tap Academy for 5. So I guess I can go Workshop. I don't think I actually want to play the Horizon Canopy. Let's see, pump. Yeah, let's just play this and pass the turn. I don't think there's much I want to do right now. Go for it. Mati is also playing around Force of Negation because the other team knows I have it, but I think this is still looking pretty good. I can kill Shieldred pretty soon here with this Ballista. Okay, what do you got here? You equipping GT on something? If it's on the suspicious Stowaway, I'm just going to ping it for 1. Can't say that I mind that. I might put a counter on first, just to be safe. Next turn, I mean, I've got a, let's see, Ballista goes up to 3, 4. I mean, I might get a chance to kill Ballista or to kill Shieldred very soon here. I guess the GT can make it a little bit safer. The other thing is I don't have to take the Coveted Jewel. It's not mandatory I do that. That put a counter on this. Then I'm going to ping this. You can equip G2, that's fine. I am probably going to be forced to tap out end of turn to put 2 counters on, because I have exactly enough mana to do that. I don't think I can get around that, which is kind of a shame because it leaves the shields down on Force of Negation, but I think that that's still probably better to do. Because I don't have black mana, I can't flip Concealing Curtains. Oh. Alright, I will force that, I guess. Okay, into Phantasmal Image. Put a counter on this. This is actually going to work out just fine for me. And then ping my true name. Yeah, you're not getting a true name, Nemesis. I'm sorry. That's not in the cards for you. Not today. In fact, this is going to work out really badly for Mati because now I'm going to get a Shieldred if I want it. Because this bins the Phantasmal image. I guess you get to equip the Jite. And so you get to go up to 7. So this is 2, 3, 5. So I can't quite kill the Shieldred yet, but I'll be able to pretty soon. All right. Yeah, I guess I don't need to spend mana on anything. Draw. Upkeep. If I make a Shieldred, it gets pinged by the Jite, but I think that might be okay. Because then I get to kill the Shieldred. Yeah, that seems fine to me. And then I don't lose life here. Oh, and I drew a Triskelion. That's an efficient rate of pinging. All right, so let's go 3, 4, 5, 6, Trike. And then tap this for 6, 8, put a counter on this. Put a counter on this. So if I ping the Shieldred 7 times, it dies, but then I don't get to attack this turn. So let's play the Horizon Canopy and let's pass the turn here. And I feel like we're in pretty good shape. If you want to kill you can kill my Shieldred with Jite, but if you do that, then I get to crack Canopy and draw in response. All right, and boom, they were done. The portal worked out. Oof. All right, we got a good match in the end out of this. The deck worked out, went 2-1. I think this deck had a really high end and just needed to draw some of these lands, and then we managed to get there. Though this game was a complicated game. There was a lot going on. All right, that'll do it for this time. Thanks for watching. We pulled out a nice 2-1, which is good enough to, I think, to get the team over the finish line here. We'll find out. And I really this is just a good Academy deck. There's not much else to it. It's got all the things I really look for. A lot of cheap artifacts. Look, 9 cheap artifacts, workshops, and I've really been a fan of like Jewel, Mightstone, and Weakstone. Trike has actually been making a surprising amount of my decks too. Alrighty, I'll see you tomorrow with a new draft. Might have Academy, maybe not. We'll have to find out. Thanks for watching.